reflection. All is well, steady walking that narrow path. Hope we can walk that path with each other. Today we're going to talk about nutrition and what it means to nourish your body. So to supply you with what you need to have your life, to be healthy and to grow in a healthy manner. So many layers to work with within that, many different planes to be on, and all of this is going to reflect upon you and your conscious state. So with that, I'm going to bring in a burger, a burger that I bought. I bought this, so my birthday was on the eclipse this year, the solar eclipse. I bought this burger the day before, so August 20th. This is a McDonald's cheeseburger, just plain cheeseburger, right? I don't know how good of a view you're going to get of this, but this is that cheeseburger. August 20th. This is January 7th, I want to say. Look at this. Look right here. That's cheese. Cheese. That's cheese right there. No mold, no nothing. Here's another little section of cheese, nothing on the bread. Hard as a rock. Right? No mold. That's disgusting. Some of you might think it's disgusting that I have that burger, but you might be eating that. That's gross. That's super gross. So again, like layers to work with. You might need to strip away some layers of yourself and open up to a higher vibratory state of nutrients. And that's not going to happen overnight. You have programming within you that has you eating food that doesn't even mold. That's nasty. Life is meant to break down and recycle itself. That's just how it is. Like if you were to poop outside, that would go into the earth, because that's soil, that's your soil, that will go into the earth at a much faster rate than that burger. So be very mindful, be very choice with what you consume. Okay, so, and I'm gonna we're gonna get really deep with this. So I'm gonna hit it at many different points, and in my own opinion, this is about as rock bottom as you can get, is eating McDonald's or anything of that nature. Just my own opinion. I can back it up with a little bit of facts too, but example number one. But from there, if you're going to be a meat eater, I'm not a meat eater. I haven't ate meat for, well over a year now. I'm going to be about 2 years. Don't regret it at all. You can feel the change completely. And so yeah, so if you are going to be a meat eater, at least step your game up to eating something that is somewhere in the realm of meat. Something that would decompose, something that a life force such as mold would eat. They need to survive. They're gonna look for anything. You could throw an apple core out there, and microorganisms are gonna break that apple core down, bring it back into the earth. That's where we all return to. That's where we're from. That's who we are. So, with that, step your game up on that. I just did a video on making change. Change that. Change it. And then with just meat, here in the good old United States, it doesn't take that much it doesn't take that much time to look into the factory farming of animals. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. That's a reflection of our lack of self-love as a culture, as life. We're lacking that self-love, so we project that lack of love onto other beings. And look into how cows are treated, how pigs are treated, how chickens are treated. They're tortured, legitimately tortured. And at the end of that last talk that I did about change, the speaking on the molecular structure of water and how that gets changed according to what you are experiencing in your environment. So if you have that self-love, then everything else is going to start to, the molecular structure is going to change according to your self-love. When there's a lack of love, it's abstract structures. It's not even really structured, it's just abstract. Right? Duh, it's abstract. There is no structure to it. You don't have any form. The universe, God, Goddess, nature communicates through patterns, geometric patterns. So if there's no geometric structure involved in the molecular structure of what you're eating, don't do it. Just simply don't do it. So when cows or chickens or pigs or whatever it is, when they're being tortured their entire life, all of the molecular structure within their being is resonating with fear. It's not resonating with love, it's resonating with fear. Very low vibration. And then you are what you eat. So when you consume that, those nutrients you're gonna attune yourself to that frequency. And I would highly recommend you to attune yourself to something of a higher vibration. So with a plant-based diet, for an example, you have harmony. At least you would like to seek harmony. Because and this is how far distorted we are from the self-love, from the self-realization of who we are as a being. So in our culture, we have genetically modified organisms. Beings have gone in and changed the genes in those organisms. What, is nature not good enough for you? Nature's been around for billions and billions of years, just in this universe, just on this planet. So maybe not billions of years on this planet. Who knows? Who knows the truth, right? But I would say microorganisms, for sure. But with that, so with plants, so be careful. You got to be careful on what you're eating with the plant. You can't just eat any plant because it could be genetically modified. And it's the same thing. You consume that genetically modified organism, then your organism, your physical biological being, is going to be modified. That will happen. You are what you eat. You will be genetically modified as you eat GMO food. So be careful. Be aware of that. You know, let that ding in your head real quick. Write it down if you need to. If that helps you to bring things into your awareness, write it down. Don't eat GMO plants. So with original organisms on this planet, on this plane, that God and Goddess had created for us, you have an even exchange, you have a balance. You want to create a balance to the best of your ability. Again, in this culture of America and Western cultures, and I mean a lot of other places on the planet too, but especially America, there's not too much balance with it, you know? But you want to find the balance to the best of your ability. If you can grow your own food, bam, you're in. You know, if you got a neighbor or a local farmer that you can support, even better. You know, like not everyone's a farmer. You know, we all have our skills, we all have our trades and stuff like that. Totally understandable. So if you can find somebody local to support, awesome. But you want to have the even exchange, right? So you have, for an example, a tomato plant, right? So the tomato plant grows. The earth nourishes the tomato plant. It grows. And then the plant offers up the tomato. And then we humans will come along, pick the tomato, and then you want to honor that exchange of energy. You always want to find the balance, ma'at. You want to create ma'at, balance, harmony within your entire life, your entire experience. So as you take that tomato, give back to the plant. You know, show it some love. Tell the plant, I love you. Because that plant holds water, and the structure, molecular structure of that tomato plant will change. Just a simple appreciation like that can go an extremely long way. To take it a step further, compost. Create your own nutrients with the food that you didn't fully utilize. You know, there's many different ways that you can compost. Look it up. You know, age of information. We have the internet. You know, are you using the internet to look up who won some game, or are you looking up information that's going to help empower you and further you along your spiritual path? Very important to keep that in mind. You know, don't be childish with the use of technology. Be very wise. Learn from your higher self, you know, on how to fully utilize the tools that we've been given in this life. And shout out to Elijah Bishop. Just started following. Man, dude, namaste for sure. He just came out in just the sync of everything. I was gonna make this video, get on Facebook real quick to just, you know, check in, see if anyone had any really good downloads that I could tap into real quick. Boom, he's making a video on nutrition. I was like, oh my god, dude, yes. So he goes deep with stuff, super deep. You gotta check him out, Elijah Bishop, Eligio space Bishop. Check it out, master teacher for sure. Listen, you know, there's plenty of teachers out there. Find somebody that you can personally tap into, that you vibrate with, that you resonate with, that is going to move you along your path. Do it. So what he came up with, the original thing of his, is a peopletarian. Okay, so we're going from the burger, the disgusting little burger right there, to a peopletarian. That's light years of conscious development in between the two, you know. So if you're eating McDonald's, what I would first recommend, you know, is to hone in on upping your game on eating higher vibratory food for yourself. If you're already at like a vegetarian type of place, you know, and it's not better or worse, you know, we're all along our path, and where we need to be along our path. It's just these are facts, you know. So, but if you are when you have a plant-based diet, look to be a peopletarian. So peopletarian is, when you are a peopletarian, I'm gonna put this into practice hardcore, for sure. I'll like my change talk. When I see an avenue where I can create more health, more love, awareness, wealth within my life, I make that change. Boom, go. But a peopletarian is someone who only deals with people who are healthy for them mentally. Okay, everything is mental. Everything is mental. You co-create your reality depending on your own thoughts. Very powerful. Very extremely powerful. So if you're around people that are not healthy for you mentally, you need to find a way to let them go. You know, with as much grace and ease as you can. And then love them from a distance. You know? Like, don't, like, oh, screw this person. You know, they did this, that, the other thing to me. You know, fuck them. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere. Because then you still hold that resentment towards that energy. You need to release the energy. So as you release the energy, that opens you up to find a higher vibratory energy to bring into your space. If you're clinging on to that energy, if you're like, oh man, screw this person, you're still bonded in that frustrating friction of an energy. So find that ease, find that grace to let them go. They're on their own path, you're on your own path. You know, not that it's right or wrong, just the way it is sometimes. I had to do that a lot when I was like 22, 23. You know, I made a big change in my life where I started to wake up. I was like, whoa, like what am I really doing here? You know, are these people really healthy for me mentally? No, not really. They're feeding into my insecurities. They're showing me my insecurities. They're reflecting back to me all the lack of self-love that I had in that moment. You know, so you can level up. Just like going from the burger to eating something that, like a cow that's like grass-fed or something like that. You know, you leveled up. There's always ways to level up. So you want to find that. And then honor the change that occurs in it. You know, find the harmony, find the balance through the change. Definitely going to get tested through the change to make sure that you're about it. Especially if you're walking that narrow path, you know? Like if you're getting to the point where you're a peopletarian, you know, like you're gonna be tested. You're gonna be tested, especially in that transitional phase, because those inner demons are gonna try to pull you back into, you know, like whatever it was, whatever circle of people you were with, you know, whatever it may have been, that you weren't at your highest state. They're going to try to pull you back into it. So be mindful. Always mindful. Always in the now. And find the focus. You need to focus. Something that helps me personally with the focus is geometry. I'm very big into geometry. And you can use it. Look up the flower of life. Look up right here. Flower of life. Right? You can look that up. Find a flower of life that helps you focus. You know, use the central point of that to focus yourself. And then when you're focused, when you find that center point, when you find your balance, you know, then you can really discern what's healthy for me. What nutrients do I want to consume? Because being around people, you are consuming their energy just as much as they're consuming yours. That's just the way it is. You know, like you can I'm sure we've had those experiences where you're around somebody and it's like, oh man, like this person's draining me right now, dragging me down to the lowest of the low, like, oh. And flip opposite, where you're talking to somebody and it's like 8 hours goes by and you're like, what the heck, like, how did that happen? Because you were vibrating so high together that it moved along. Time is relative, right? Would you rather, okay, time's relative, right? So what's going to seem like a longer time? Having a wonderful conversation with somebody for an hour? A lovely conversation, just hitting all the points together. You're in sync, you're flowing, it's going back and forth. No one's hogging the conversation, it's just in flow. You're in tune with each other, you're vibing, right? Like, how fast that hour is going to go by compared to if you put your hand on a hot frying pan for an hour. For a minute. A minute of a red hot frying pan, or talking to somebody for an hour that you truly enjoy. Time is relative. So when you find that balance, right? When you find your focus, you can discern, does this feel good to be around this person? Or is it holding me back? Is it pulling me down? Is it taking me off my own path? They may have served a purpose. They may have shown you something that you need to let go of or grow from. Again, no right or wrong. No right or wrong. It's just the way of life. We're on a path of eternity. So recognize that. You feel it? How do you feel? Do you get you get the butterflies inside, you feel all good like that? You get like your stomach's turning, like, oh my God, like, oh, I need to get out of this room right now. Which one is it? And then why is it that way? Why do you feel good? Is it because you're superficially attracted to the person? Is it because you have a very deep soul connection to them? Do you feel bad because they're reflecting your insecurity back at you? I've had that, for sure. And sometimes I don't recognize it in the moment because I'm like caught up in whatever the situation may be. And then, I'll remove myself from the situation, I'll center myself hardcore, and I'll objectively look at it. So not subjectively, not according to what I would like to see in it, but objectively, what are the facts? Why was that person reflecting whatever lesson it was I was supposed to learn from? What was the lesson? I told you it was going to get really deep really quick. There's many layers to what we call life. We live in a fractal, holographic universe. Everything's in communication with itself because it's the self. We reflect one another. So wherever you're at, along your path of nutrition, whatever you choose to exchange energy with. Another thing that Elijah Bishop brought into my awareness is sex. Oh, right? So sex, an acronym, right? BLT, bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Scratch the bacon for me, please. That's an acronym. So a backronym, learn this one from KRS-One, check him out if you haven't already. But a backronym is already having an established word like sex, and then adding another dimensional plane to it. So what sex equates to is a sacred energy exchange. You're always exchanging energy. Always. With everything around you. The colors that are around you, you're exchanging energy with them. This light in here is exchanging energy with me. You know, it's affecting me in a certain manner. So we're always in those energy exchanges. I work a lot with stones and crystals because they carry a specific frequency that I would like to have around me at certain times. So what are you having sex with? What energies, what sacred energy exchanges are you having? Are they supporting your life? Are they creating a healthy organism, biological organism for yourself? If they're not, change it. Let the bad vibes go. This is 2018. We got a lot of work to do. All of us. This is why I'm making this video. I'm going to continue making videos. We got a lot of work to do. All of us. So always stay mindful. Always stay present, focused, in the now. So you can truly understand what type of sacred energy exchange you're having in that moment. It can change your whole day. It can change your whole day. You know, when you're eating fresh, raw food, you're going to feel fresh. You're going to feel raw. You know? Why wouldn't you want to feel that way? Feels good. The sun. The sun. Are you tapping into the solar energy? It's proven that if you're not getting enough sun, you're going to be depressed. The sun, is yourself, just on a different dimensional plane, different conscious state. That is the sun. Sun is God, goddess energy. Without the sun, there would be no life on planet Earth. Earth would just drift off somewhere until it found another sun that would adopt it as a child. Sacred energy exchange. What are you having sex with? Is it moving you along your sacred path? The divinity that you are? If it's not, change. Let it go. Again, with grace, with ease. As it leaves, love it. You know? Thank you for your lessons. I learned now that, you know, eating McDonald's is not healthy for me. I don't feel good after I eat it. It might taste good, right? There's a difference between tasting good and truly feeling good. And not just in like a comforting way, you know, like, oh, I'm depressed, so I'm gonna eat to make me feel good. You know, like you wanna feel good in the sense that your vibration is so high that you could just tap into the sun energy and feed off of that. I feel amazing after I, you know, am in the sun for X amount of time. Fortunately, here in Chicago, around Chicago, doesn't really happen that often, especially in the wintertime. So much love to you. I love myself. I love you. Keep doing your thing. I have faith in you. Have faith in yourself. Have the courage to create a higher sacred energy exchange for yourself. Look out for your future self. The one you're creating in this now. You have the focus, the awareness to know that you're creating your future self with every breath. Every sacred energy exchange that you go through is helping move you into a higher state, hopefully, down the road for your future self. And the more you put that into practice now, in the now, you're going to be moving right along. So many blessings to you. Keep doing your thing, keep loving yourself, keep growing, experiencing, letting go of your inner demons, letting go of the energies that you're exchanging with that aren't sacred. Namaste. I love you, Reflection. Take care.